depending upon the quality and proportion of the ingredients used in the concrete mix, the properties of concrete will vary. What type of material you are adding? Because concrete is a mixture of sand, okay, coarse aggregate, cement and water. We already discussed this, okay. Depending upon the quality of the ingredients and the proportion with which you are going to mix them, the quality of concrete will vary. All concretes will not have the same properties. It depends upon the quality of these ingredients as well as the proportion with which you are mixing. If you are adding 1 part of cement, okay, 2 part of sand, 3 part of coarse aggregate, this will have its own properties, its own property, okay. Again, if you are adding 1 part of cement, 4 parts of sand and 8 parts of coarse aggregate, again properties vary. The strength what we get using this proportion will not be the same as we get by mixing this proportion. So the property of the ingredients, characteristics of the ingredients which you are using, as well as the quality of the ingredients, as well as the proportion with which you are mixing, the concrete properties will vary, okay. Now concrete has very good strength in compression. It has got very good strength in compression, okay. So suppose this is a concrete block, okay. When you apply the loads on it, it is very good in compression, but it has got little tensile strength, maybe 10%, I can say 10%. 10% of compressive strength will be its tensile strength. It is very, very less tensile strength. So plain cement concrete, that is sand plus coarse aggregate plus cement plus water. This we can refer as plain cement concrete. This is good in compression but less in tensile strength. So this type of concrete, that is plain cement concrete, we can use only, this application is only where compression is the requirement. Compressive stresses are the requirement and weight is also the requirement. Then only we go for the plain cement concrete. But yes, plain cement concrete is equal to this one, fine. So as I said you, concrete is weak in tension. So when you add whatever plain cement concrete is there, it is weak in tension. Now I will draw one figure. Members like beams, slabs, retaining walls, they are subjected to bending. When the loads are applied, I will draw one example. When loads are applied on flexural members like this, they will bend. They will bend like this. Okay, so the top layer will be in compression. So these will get compressed. They get compressed and these will be in tension. So to take up those tensile forces, we cannot use plain cement concrete. So there we incorporate steel in the concrete, okay. So because plain cement concrete is good in compression, but its setback is that it develops crack. You can see top portion is subjected to compression and bottom is subjected to tension. Because of this uneven expansion and contraction, early cracks will develop in the plain cement concrete. Cracks develops at a very early stage. So to overcome this, setback, we add to the plain cement concrete, we add steel. Okay, then it becomes RCC, reinforced cement concrete. So what is PCC? Same as I suggested earlier, sand, coarse aggregate plus cement plus water. To that if we add steel, then it can take good tension. As I have shown you one flexural member of beam, okay. So when loads are applied on this, it will bend in this direction. The top zone, this is the neutral axis. Neutral axis is a line or is a plane where there will be no compression and no tension. It's an imaginary line, okay. So members, in the member, a part of it will be in compression, a part will be in tension. Which is in compression, which is in tension depends upon the type of support. It is not that always the top part is in compression and the bottom part is in tension. Sometimes depending upon the support condition, we'll discuss it later on, the tension may be in the top and compression may be in the bottom. So to take care of this tensile forces, we are adding steel to the plain cement concrete, then it becomes reinforced cement concrete, so which is our subject of interest. So RCC is equal to PCC plus steel. Okay, so by adding steel to the concrete, we are incorporating the tensile, incorporating the capacity to take up the tensile stresses also. So by adding steel, the composite material, it becomes a composite material, because variety of material is there in the RCC. Sand is a different material, coarse aggregate is a different material, cement is a different material, and your steel is a different material. So this composite material develops less crack at the service loads. So less crack is developed. Cracks will develop, but less cracks comparing to the plain cement concrete. So our service load, by incorporating steel, you are able to reduce the cracks at service load. So, right? And RCC can take up the tensile stress. So RCC is our subject of discussion. So let us go in detail about the RCC, its constituent its constituent materials. What are the property of these constituent materials? Let us see. Okay, we'll go in detail about this. So first is, what all the materials we are used in concrete, that we have seen. Materials used in concrete is cement, sand and coarse aggregate. Okay, so these are the three materials. Materials used in concrete is cement, sand, coarse aggregate. Okay, so we are supposed to learn more about cement. We are supposed to have a thorough knowledge of cement, because it is the active ingredient. It is the active ingredient of the concrete. It will be a finely grounded material with cohesive and adhesive properties. Hope you all know what is cohesive property and what is adhesive property. Cement is an important ingredient in the concrete. So let us study more about, let us know more about cement. Okay, it is an active ingredient of the concrete. So what is the chemical composition of cement? So this is a very favorite question of examinations, competitive examination, chemical composition of cement. So all these things you might have learned in other subjects also, like in building materials also, you'll get this. So chemical composition of cement. Basically, the main ingredients in the cement is, first is tricalcium silicate. Tricalcium silicate. Okay, we can represent this with some other abbreviation, that is C3S. Tricalcium silicate. Chemical composition of cement I am telling you. The first composition is tricalcium silicate. Mineral is tricalcium silicate. It will be around 30% to 50%. 30% to 50% will be the tricalcium silicate. Then comes second component of cement is dicalcium silicate. Dicalcium silicate can be represented as C2S. Its composition is around 20% to 45%. 20% to 45%. The third composition, the third important component of cement is tricalcium aluminate. Tricalcium aluminate. Tricalcium aluminate. It is represented as C3A. Its composition is 8% to 12%. Fine. So the next comes tetracalcium aluminoferrite. So the abbreviation symbol we use is tetra C4 alumino AF. tetracalcium aluminoferrite. Its percentage of composition is 6% to 10%. So basically cement is composed of these minerals. So if these minerals composition varies, the property of cement also varies. We have varieties of cements. It is not a single cement. In the market, if you see, there is a variety of cement. Okay, so let us see what are the types of cements available in the market. Types of cements depends upon the ingredients in the, like if these proportions are varying or if you are adding some admixture, then the cement will be changing. So the types of cements which are available in the market is, the most common one is ordinary Portland cement, OPC. What you find in the market for construction is ordinary Portland cement. OPC. So in the market what you find is this one, ordinary Portland cement. Second comes Portland pozzolanic cement. Ordinary Portland cement is a standard cement. Second is Portland pozzolanic cement. So that is PPC. When you add some extra ingredients to acquire the desired properties, then we call it as Portland pozzolanic cement. One example I will take. Nowadays there is a lot of production of fly ash. Okay, it's a waste from the industries, from thermal industries, from coal industries. Lot of fly ash is coming and it is becoming a worry for the government to dispose it off. It is causing a great threat to the nature. Its disposal is becoming a major concern. So what the researchers have done, because it has got some pozzolanic material, cement composition is also pozzolanic. So some features were matching to some features of the fly ash were matching to the properties of the ingredients of the cement. So a part, there is a percentage fixed in it. So some percentage of that fly ash, which is not only fly ash, many pozzolanic materials are there, like rice husk ash. That is also a pozzolanic material. Slag, that is also a pozzolanic material. So such pozzolanic material will be incorporated along with this. Okay, so in the manufacturing process, some amount of pozzolanic material will be added to it. Then that type of cement becomes Portland pozzolanic cement. Okay, third one is rapid hardening cement. So all these you can find in the market. Rapid hardening cement, RHC. Okay, the name itself is suggesting its purpose. Rapid hardening cement. So hardening will take place quickly when we have to do constructions in the water bodies, like construction of dams, one example, or construction of offshore platforms for the excavation of oils. There we use rapid hardening cement. Or if a country is cold enough where the climate doesn't support its setting, then we go for rapid hardening cement. So this again, to the basic components, to the basic ingredients of the cement, some admixture will be added which will enhance the hardening property of the cement. So such cement is called as rapid hardening cement. Then comes quick setting cement. Quick setting cement is somewhat synonymous to this one. So quick setting, I can tell the same explanation as I have said to the rapid hardening cement. So there hardening is quick and here setting is quick. Okay, so this is our quick setting cement. Another cement is low heat cement. Okay, so I need not tell you all the details about this, because basically we have to do the analysis and design of RCC members. That is RCC beams, types of beams we have to analyze, slabs, columns, footings, all that analysis is there. This is just the introduction to the RCC. Okay, all this you might have learned in the other subjects called building materials. Many more cements are there. You can just go through that required material. Okay, so this is the composition. Now coming to the properties of cement, we have seen the composition. Now we have to see what are the important properties, because when we are using cement, cement is the largest consumed material after water. Okay, you got my point? It is the largest consumed material. So we should know its properties, some properties. So before we use it for the construction. So properties of cement. So first property which we should discuss is fineness of cement. This is an important property. Next we have to discuss about setting time of cement. This is another important property of cement which we should know, setting time of cement. Next comes soundness. Soundness of cement, we should know what it is, how to determine the soundness, and then next compressive strength. Very important this is also. So only the important properties, many properties are there, but only the important which is required on the field I will discuss. So fourth one is compressive strength of cement, and the last one is heat of hydration. So these are the basic properties which one should know about the cement, as cement forms the important ingredient of the concrete. Fine. So first coming to fineness. What is fineness? Fineness, the name itself is suggesting what it is. It is the size, it represents the size of the grain of cement. It represents the size of the grain of cement. Okay, it is the measure of size of particles of cement. Okay, it is an important factor because it is going to control the rate of gain of strength. If the size of the particle of cement is big, then the rate of gain of strength will be slow. So we have to know what is fineness, how to determine. What is fineness already I have said you. Then how to determine it. Okay. So how to determine is we have two tests. For determining the fineness we have two tests. One is sieve analysis. We have two tests to determine the fineness of cement. One is sieve analysis, which is more commonly used. Sieve analysis. Second one is Blanc's test. So these are the two tests. Sieve analysis is the common test which we use it. So in this, the cement is sieved on a standard. IS Bureau of Indian Standard has specified some standard sieve. On that, cement will be sieved. Okay, we will find out the proportion of cement of which the grain sizes are larger than the size of mesh. We will determine that in this. We will determine the portion of cement of which the size of particle is greater than the size of mesh. So this will be the mesh in which we just pour the cement, 300 grams of cement. Okay, 300 grams of cement as per the Bureau of Indian Standard. As per the Bureau of Indian Standard, we will do the sieve analysis. Okay, there is a sieve, IS 90 micron sieve. We take this sieve and on that we pour 300 grams of cement and then we do the sieve analysis. Okay. So as per Indian Standard, Bureau of Indian Standard, when you sieve cement on 90 micron IS sieve, that is size of the sieve, then not more than 10%, not more than 10% of residue should be left over. So when you sieve it on a IS 90 micron sieve, then whatever residue is coming, that should not be more than 10% of the amount you have taken. Suppose you have taken 300 grams, then only 30 grams is permissible on the retainer. The remaining 90% should pass through it. If it is not happening, if it is more, then you have to discard it, because directly, indirectly, the size of particle is governing the rate of gain of strength. Okay. So average size of the cement particle will be 15 micron. Okay, average size we can consider 15 micron. Approximately 95% of cement particles are smaller than 45 microns. 95% of cement particles are less than 45 microns. 95% all the cement particles will be less than 45 microns. But as a general knowledge, you can remember the average size of, because 45, 30, 25, instead of that, average size of cement particle is taken as 15 microns. Okay. Then coming to setting time, another parameter is setting time. Setting time is also very, very important, because when we mix cement with concrete, when we mix cement to manufacture concrete, okay, before it is placed onto the site, it should not set. It should not be too early for setting. It should not set too early rather, okay, and neither it should take more time to set. Right? So what is setting time? Set means you can understand, right? So setting time is the time required for stiffening of cement paste. Okay, it is the time required for stiffening of cement paste to a defined consistency. Okay, we call it as normal consistency. Cement, when you mix it, it looks like a plastic, but with time it loses its plasticity and becomes stiffened. So to a particular consistency it should reach. So that how much time it is taking, that time is called as setting time. Okay. So it is indirectly related to the reaction of cement with water in the concrete. So the other way of explaining is setting time. I am telling that whenever water is added to the cement, there will be a chemical reaction. Okay. So the chemical reaction of cement with water is very slow. It requires time and favorable temperature for its completion. This time is known as setting time. General definition is this. Okay, the chemical reaction of the cement with the water, it will be slow. So that time is known as for the completion of that reaction, that whatever time it is taking, that time is known as setting time. Okay, so setting time is divided into 3 phases. Okay, the first phase is known as initial setting time. The first phase is known as initial setting time. This initial setting time requires 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Okay. So the complete time is setting time. The chemical reaction is happening between the cement and water. Okay, the complete reaction time is known as setting time. So that time is again divided into 3 phases. The first phase is initial setting time. It requires 30 minutes to 60 minutes for its completion. So what is happening during this phase is the cement starts decreasing its plasticity. Okay, its plasticity reduces and there will be resistance will be developed to flow, because when you mix cement with water and all, it has a flowing property. You can just take it and place it in the molds or in the formwork. But within this 30 minutes to 60 minutes, it loses its plasticity and develops resistance to the flow. So that phase is known as initial setting phase. Okay. So the initial setting time for an ordinary Portland cement is 30 minutes to 60 minutes. If you want to increase it, then you have to go to the special concretes, special cements, which I have already told you in the time. Okay. So minimum this much time should be there before it really sets. So 30 minutes to 60 minutes is required to lose its plasticity and develop the resistance against flow. So its plasticity is getting reduced. Then how are you going to find out this initial setting time? What is the test that is to be conducted to find the initial setting time of cement? Okay. So the test we do is using Vicat's apparatus. Vicat's apparatus. So this test shall be performed, whether this test or any sieving test or any test, it has to be performed according to the procedure given in the IS code. So IS 4031. IS 4031 part 5. Okay. Part 1 was for sieving analysis. Part 5. So this code will give you the procedure for performing the setting time. Okay, whether it is initial setting or final setting, right? So in this, there will be an apparatus called Vicat's apparatus. Okay, so it will be like a platform. On this there will be a plate like thing. So the machine will be somewhat Vicat's apparatus. It will have, okay, I'll not exactly draw it, like it will have some arrangement here. There will be a needle. Okay, what you do is you mix cement with 0.85 times of normal consistency water. You make a paste. That paste you fill in a mold. That mold you will place it under this. Okay, then you allow this. There will be a needle here. You just remove that needle. That needle will pierce into it. So we'll just see how much the needle is getting pierced. Okay, so it should be 0 to 50, 0 mm to 50 mm piercing should be there. Okay, let us not go in detail with in this. So using this we'll find out. So this 0 mm to 5 mm 50 mm piercing from the top, how much time it is taking, that time will be called as initial setting time. Okay, so this is initial setting time. The second phase is final setting time. Final setting time. So this may vary from 5 hours to 6 hours for its completion. Final setting time requires 5 hours to 6 hours for its completion. So during this time, during this phase, concrete appears to be relatively soft. It appears to be relatively soft without surface hardness. The surface will be soft, but it becomes a mass-like thing, solid mass-like thing, but relatively soft. So same experiment, only by replacing the needle with a plunger of 0.8 mm dia, something like that. With that we just do this one. So it should leave, like when the concrete is fresh enough, when we release this plunger, it will pierce into it. Again we will just take 1 hour. After 1 hour we will see again it will go into the cement paste. Like that the test will be continued until the plunger just put a impression, and that time is considered as a final setting time. Okay. Third phase is called as rapid hardening. Rapid hardening strength time. Rapid hardening, rapid progressive hardening and increasing strength. Progressive hardening. This phase is progressive hardening and increase in strength. So this is after 10 hours this start progressive hardening. The phase itself is telling the cement becomes hard and hard. It increases the hardening, and at the same time it keeps on gaining the strength. So this is called a progressive hardening and increase in strength.